the worst betrayal of our life. When I was 14, my brother Wyatt assaulted me, and when I told my parents, my mom's first words were, think about his swimming scholarship. It happened during Wyatt's senior year. I had mono and had been spending most of my time in bed, too weak to even stand up. Then Wyatt came to my room around midnight. He told me he needed practice for the girls at college, and I'd become such a woman since he'd left. I was so feverish and confused that it wasn't until too late that I realized what was happening. When it was over, Wyatt smoothed my hair and whispered, no one will ever believe you. I sat in my shower until the water ran cold, then stumbled straight to my parents' room and woke them up and told them everything. For a moment, I thought they'd protect me. Then Mom grabbed my shoulders and said, I better not mess up his scholarship. Dad added that Wyatt was their retirement plan, that Olympic swimmers could make millions. They made me describe exactly what happened 3 times, looking for holes in my story. Dad said, if it was that bad, why didn't you stop him? Maybe you wanted it to happen. While Mom cried about how I was going to destroy our family, Dad reminded me that Wyatt paid for my dance classes with his competition winnings. By sunrise, they'd convinced themselves it was a misunderstanding. They made me promise to never mention it again, especially not with college scouts coming around, but I've never really been the quiet type. I was going to find a way to expose Wyatt no matter what my parents said. The problem was Dad was a cop, 20 years on the force with friends throughout the system. Every officer in town knew him. When I tried reporting it at school, the resource officer called my dad directly. Your girl's telling stories again, he said, like they discussed me before. That night, Dad sat me down and explained how things worked. His buddies would always call him first. Any report I made would come straight back to him. The system protects its own, he said calmly. I had to get creative. I wrote about it in my English journal. The one teachers promised was confidential. My teacher read it, called my parents for a conference, and they convinced her I was writing fiction for attention. That night, they took my bedroom door off its hinges. Privacy is earned with trust, Mom explained. Wyatt smirked from the hallway. I put all my energy into trying to destroy him so that I didn't have time to get in my feelings about living in the same house as my rapist. My next idea was the school counselor, but my parents started volunteering at my school and intercepted every attempt. They'd crash my sessions with concerned smiles, explaining their daughter's tendency toward elaborate stories. The counselor started seeing me as a creative writing prodigy instead of an abuse victim. My parents praised my imagination publicly, while privately taking away my laptop, my phone, anything I could use to communicate. So, fine. If they were going to call me a creative genius, I'd be a creative genius. During Wyatt's swim meets I was still forced to attend, I started holding up signs that looked supportive but spelled out help me with the first letters. I taught myself Morse code and tapped SOS during extended family dinners, but people saw what my parents wanted them to see. A quirky teenage girl supporting her champion brother and saddled with an active imagination. Each failed attempt made them tighten control. They pulled me from dance, saying I needed to focus on supporting Wyatt's career. They pulled me out of school and homeschooled me to limit outside contact. They told my friends to give me some space so I could focus on my studies and intercepted all my calls. I convinced them to let my best friend come over for my birthday, and they agreed as long as I was supervised the whole time. So before she arrived, I wrote the truth on an index card and slipped it onto my bookshelf, hoping she'd notice. But Wyatt saw it first and ripped it up right in front of me moments before Natalie arrived. Then he sat there smirking at me the whole time she was there. After Natalie left, my parents were devastated by my betrayal. They told everyone I was too mentally unstable for visitors. Mom explained they'd caught me writing disturbing fiction about family members. Now any future accusations would look like mental illness. Then came the morning I woke up vomiting. Mom bought pregnancy tests, her face already calculating damage control. When they came back positive, she didn't ask if I was okay. She just called Dad and said, we have a situation. Hours later, all 3 came in together and Dad told me their plan. They'd tell everyone I'd gotten pregnant by some boy from dance class. I'd be sent to boarding school, but really kept it home until I delivered. Wyatt's reputation would stay intact. Wyatt knelt beside me, touching my stomach. Besides, now you'll never get away from me. We're connected forever. That's when I finally broke. All the fight drained out of me as I looked at my cop father who'd blocked every escape route, my mother who'd chosen her son over me, and my brother whose baby was growing inside me. I'd tried everything, fought so hard to expose him, and all it had gotten me was pregnant and trapped in a house with my abuser. The tears came then, months of suppressed terror pouring out while they watched. I wasn't the funny sister anymore, wasn't the creative genius finding ways to ask for help. I was just 15, pregnant, and completely defeated. They'd won, and we all knew it. Full story on the channel below. Bye.